The gardener, and it is the very last day of January for my January update video, so I'm just squeaking it in there. It is very hot. My thermometer on the outside of my shed, I don't know how accurate it is because it's really old and it's not digital, but it's saying 32 degrees C, which is 90 degrees F, and I only know that because it says both of them. But so it's really nice to have this lovely sea breeze coming in through my windbreak. Oh, it's delicious right here. But the sand is too hot to walk on, so I've got actually beach shoes because otherwise I'll just burn my feet. But the garden is actually, all things considered, is actually doing all right because the sector system I use, where I deal with just one row of beds on a group of 6 or 7 beds on a Monday, and just take care of those needs. Don't ignore all the weeds and everything else. So there's the Monday bed, the Tuesday bed, the Wednesday bed, and so that way you're taking care of the garden's needs little and often, and so weeds don't get a chance to establish because you're there each week just nipping them out. The Friday bed does kind of, if anything's going to get a bit neglected, it tends to be that one, but that's okay. It's not looking too bad right now. So the sector system and the ability to have my computer assisted irrigation system where I can water 6 beds at a time has really helped to keep the beds healthy, and so January is a really hard month. I think I've got too high expectations because I've got to take into consideration some holidays and visiting family and family visiting me, and sleeping in tents in the pouring rain. Oh, that breeze is so nice. So that's one of the things that takes me away from the garden when the garden needs me the most. But I think this season I've actually fared quite well, considering most of January I haven't actually been able to garden. So come with me and I'll show you what it's like. It's it is raggedy around the edges, but we are, like I said, the very last day of January, and it's really, really hot. So come with me, come on, let's go and have a look, check out the garden. This is the view that I'm actually seeing from where I've been sitting. So I just sat back down again. I thought I'd show you. I'm quite pleased with it. And as you can see, if I just pan out, see how dry the hill is and how blue the sky is. It's a beautiful summer day. It's amazing. You may also notice over here and on the other side the sheds are now blue. That was one of my projects. Let's have a look. I'll show you a grand picture. So the blue thing is a new project that I've done in January as well, which is another reason I've been AWOL on social media for most of the month. Holidays and projects. These are my pots in that I've managed to over summer during the break thanks to this really cool thing. It's a Gardenia Aqua Bloom, and it's solar powered and runs off a bucket of water and a timer. So my plants have remained healthy in my absence, which is absolutely fabulous. I've also grown some rosemary cuttings. I have some painted mountain corn seeds going on here because something, they didn't turn out in the garden. So this is the shed in its lovely blue glory in my tool shed. I hate painting, so this is as good as it's going to get. I quite like the blue, it's quite nice. So the herbs, I need to harvest the basil. This is the one I saved. It was like a 99 cents on the Save Me area of the garden centre, and I saved it. So now I just have to capture it and freeze it in some way, shape or form. So that's cool. We have sunflowers. Oh, actually there's a whole load of them, although they're looking really thirsty right now. It's a bit sorry. But yeah, it's always so cool to see sunflowers. The peas are finished, but what I did see when I was pulling them out is there was a little bit of growth at the base. So I've just going to see what happens here, but failing that I'll just plant some more seeds. So it's interesting to go with nature sometimes. The sweet corn is nearly ready. I pulled it back the other day and had a look, but it's not quite there yet, so it's not brown enough and it's not poking out enough, but the cobs feel full and it's going to be great. Yeah, so there's a load of corn all the way through here, just normal sweet corn, which fabulous. And the sound that they make just makes it feel cool and refreshing as it's blown in the wind. So I let the camos just do their thing, so because I just couldn't keep up with them, and then there's loads of butternuts, but they're not very big, but that's okay because the kids don't like them, so that's okay, it's what it is. And then there's a cute little one there. I think that's a supposed to be a sugar pie pumpkin for pumpkin pies, so we'll see what that's like. Everything's looking a bit dry. I need to give everything another watering. It's getting hot. This is the glass gem corn. It's not quite at the tassel stage yet, but that's okay. I'm very pleased with it. The tomatoes are just a sorry sight. I need to figure them out. There's something wrong. But you know, they're still doing their thing. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This one. This is oh, what's it called? Artisan blush. So it's got bits of, can you see that? There's a bit of red on there as well. Really delicious. Yum. Oh my gosh, I'm so rude. This is so sweet and delicious. That makes struggling to grow them so worthwhile. That's a purple Cherokee under there. Cherokee purple. Yeah, there's that chocolate sprinkles not doing very well. That's a green zebra, but he's gone red. I never know when to get them to harvest them. Yeah, it's just not looking great, but I'll probably make a note of the ones that look quite bad. No, I'll make a note of the ones that look good and just grow them next year, because they're obviously coping better than some of the other more fair-weathered friends over there, and just find what grows best and work with that, I think, because this one is actually looking quite good. So yeah, okay. Tomatoes. The popcorn is almost dry on the plant. There's still a bit of green in there, so I'll be harvesting that and then putting it in the dome to dry out. Oh yeah, these, oh my gosh, these are so cool. Edamame. I don't know why I never grew them before. They are so delish. So you just get them, yeah, you get them when they're about like this size, nice and fat, not too fat. And then you nip the top off and boil them in salty water, like sea salt, 4%, for about 6 to 8 minutes, and then suck them out of the pod. Oh my gosh, so good. I need to harvest my okra because that one will probably be okay, but the one behind it's probably a bit fat, but it'll be a bit woody. That one will definitely be too woody. But look at the okra flower, isn't it gorgeous? It's related to hibiscus, I believe. And then peanuts, doing good. Oh, eggplant looks like it needs a drink. There's eggplants in there. That's a baby Brujani. I forget how you say it, but they are delish. But look at the thorns on those. Ooh, Nelly, don't get caught with that. Then watermelons. Watermelons up the wazoo. There are watermelons all through here. But then, look, melons everywhere. Okay, lots of powdery mildew as well, but there's just, as far as the eye can see, is melons. They're not very big, but that's okay, they're melons. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they taste. Oh, melons and powdery mildew. So the brassicas are here. They're quite holey. But one thing I have noticed is there haven't been as many cabbage white butterflies, or the caterpillars on my brassicas, because I've harvested 3 heads so far, here, here and here, and I haven't actually picked any creatures out from within, so that's really good. But I can't get complacent because you never know, there's probably loads of them in there. Yeah, so that's good. Trying to keep up with the succession planting of the lettuce. That's fun in this heat. Look at that one, it didn't cope very well with the heat at all. Oh dear, I think I'm ready to go and get more seedlings. It's easier just to go to the garden centre and get another 6. And then, so by the time we eat those will be ready to eat, and then there'll be some more coming on. That's the easiest way to do succession planting of lettuce, in my opinion. Right, after the drama of the capsicums, where I had diseases all the way through them this year, the plants are actually looking really healthy, but I have to say the ones I grew from seed and in pots that are being looked after on the deck have got more crops in them. So you know, there are some, like, but yeah, they're a little bit behind the ones that I actually grew from seed, even though they were bigger than the ones I grew from seed when I put them in the ground. I think making plants that are bigger than, you know, ideal size for planting out actually does check their growth a bit. But we should have fruit soon, I hope. Right, the zucchini was interesting because the wind knocked the tops out of 3 plants just before Christmas. So I popped a new seed, and that's what you're seeing here. But what that did mean is I didn't come home to marrows, and so now they're just starting to amp production up, and so I'm getting a nice steady supply of zucchini that aren't raging out of control, which is refreshing. Except this one. This is a scallopini. I think you're supposed to harvest them when they're about this big. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting them, so I have got a million of these that I need to process, but I'm not quite sure what to do with them yet. I'll find a way. Nothing wasted. This is my lone attempt at painted mountain corn for my growing 4 corn in 1 season. I haven't given up. I have sown some seeds, but I put them in containers, because I suspect something dug them up and ate the ones that I planted around the sole corn. So I've got them in a situation where I can control, and then I'll plant seedlings out. And hopefully if we get a long hot summer and into autumn, I'll end up with painted mountain corn, and my 4 corn varieties in one season will be a success. Wishful thinking, eh? I've let my spinach go to seed in the hopes that I'll get another crop without doing anything. And my silver beet is in desperate need of watering, and I need to pull out the whatever that is that's gone to seed. I think it's bok choy. The beetroot was wilting terribly in the heat, so I just threw a bucket of water over it, but I'll have to water properly. But they're doing really well this year. Last year I didn't get any beetroot. I haven't tried the parsnips yet. They're supposed to be sweeter after the frost, but we don't get frost, so then I guess I can try them whenever I want. And the carrots have been magnificent. The potato crop was terrible. I don't know why, but you know, c'est la vie. The beans, well, I grow mostly kidney beans, so I don't have to worry too much about tending them. But with beans, like normal green beans, the more you pick, the more you get. So I've got some butter beans in there that need picking, and some, what are these? These are, those are burgundy, and then there's French beans in there too, so I need to pick them. These are humongous megapods, and they're supposed to be really long. I'm growing them for the novelty factor because I don't actually like scarlet runners. They're too meh. And besides, if you're going to let them grow as long as they get, then they're going to be a bit woody anyway. So yeah, so they're just for fun. I have a cocoa white, which is, I think at this stage is the perfect stage. I have missed a few, but that's okay. They've gone too far. But there's all of these that will probably, hopefully, end up like this at the same time, so then I can make a meal out of them. So I just got to keep an eye on it, daily checking. So yeah, the rest of them are drying beans, which is fine with me. And I never pulled my broad beans out. I need to pull them out because I didn't get to them. Life was busy at the end of last year. The gherkins are miserable. I don't want to talk about it. The cucumbers are doing alright, but I think there's watering issues at the minute because excuse me, it's so dry. But you can see that they're getting scarred from the neck and rubbing against each other. I'm enjoying the lemon cucumbers. You just peel them and eat them like an apple. They're really sweet, and they're not bitter at all. I prefer them to the apple cucumbers. And then, yeah, right, so, oh, and the Puna cucumber, the one that I had in the other video, something went wrong with the plant and it kind of stunted, so I put in another one, and I've had one more cucumber off it the other day, but see, we've got some coming through. So, you know, as long as we get long hot summer, I'm not too worried. There's enough apple cucumbers, lemon cucumbers, I don't know, can you see them there, to keep us in cucumbers for ages. The asparagus has finished for the season, which is good because I was getting sick of them. Imagine that, being sick of asparagus. I also painted the swing seat blue to protect the wood on the chair, but also it looks really cool and ties in with the sheds. And I also did the dome door for the same reasons. It's just protect the investment, really. So, and it looks cool. It looks cool. The artichokes came back. I don't think I've ever had 2 crops in one season, so there's one in late spring and obviously now one now. So yummo for me. The yams, oh, I don't know, I never do well. I think it's too warm here, but it's not going to stop me trying. I sowed a edible flour mix, but I put it in late, so I don't quite know what we're getting out of it just yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. And then my calendula, I need to deadhead it because I wanted to take the tops off them, because I've actually been making soap, and so I want to use it to colour the soap. Be fun. The blueberries, oh, I need to do something to protect them. I'm thinking of putting a windbreak screen all along here, and like a gate there, and then another windbreak screen, just to protect the second half, because it gets hammered. Although I need to do something to protect the rhubarb too, because yeah, it's just like using the mathematical formula of the height of the windbreak. I think this is the point where we're no longer getting the protection from the windbreak over there, and so these plants do obviously look windswept as, but I'm still getting pumpkins, so I'm not complaining. There's one down there, and there's a couple over there. The loofah is my idea of it going up both arches. It's doing all right on this side, but this side not so much. I think it's because of the wind, so I might move the arch and just have it going up over here so it's not in the wind. And then over there through the arch is my giant pumpkin. Woohoo! So that I might hit a world record for myself if that keeps going at that rate. And then we're going to cut the skitty squash in there. The summer raspberries look quite windswept, which isn't ideal, but maybe that windbreak that I'm going to put behind us will work. But look, we've got berries coming through on the autumn ones, which I predicted, so I just got to make sure that they just get enough water, and then I need to tie them all into the trellis. Look at the thorns on that. It's just, yeah, that's probably why I've been putting it off. So yeah, I mean, in the autumn ones, these will get chopped down to the ground level and hopefully grow back again next autumn. But these are my next year's ones, so I really do need to look after them. I'll find a way. It'll work out. And the strawberries, they're coming to an end. There's more runners than berries now. You can see they're escaping. So I just need enough runners to replace these 3 rows, because those 3 rows at the moment are year 3. These 3 are, are they 3 or 4 rows? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so there's 3 rows. So there's 3 rows of 1 year, 3 rows of 2 year, and 3 rows of 1 year. So I just need to have enough runners to replace the 3-year-olds, so that I've always got good production coming off all the strawberries. They're always at their peak of, well, at least one lot of them are. So, but I may rejig the frame. It works well, but I need to harvest properly. I really need 2 people to get the job done. So, yeah, but it does work. It's good. So yeah, there is the garden. Oh, in January. Well, we're late January. Oh, I'm so pleased with it. So that's the garden in January, albeit late January, but hey, it is what it is. I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest. Going forward into February, well, I'm not making any promises, because ideally I'd like to do regular updates, but my schedule kind of leans towards monthly updates. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, but no promises. So if that's okay with just monthly updates, I think we can manage that. It's, yeah, I have a lot going on. I'm trying to really just stay in control and stay one step ahead. And I think at this point, considering that summer is a really hard season because it's got summer holidays and Christmas and New Year and all of that, and hot weather, that's just like you don't really want a garden, it's just too hot. So I think the garden's actually not in a bad shape. So yeah, so I'll see you, well, I'm at least in February at some point, maybe once, maybe twice, who knows, we'll see what happens. But I want to say a big thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care, bye bye. Right, Jasper, let's go get a drink of water. Oh, it's too hot.